Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to my channel, Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're doing our long readings, and this will be for my Cancers in Gemini season. How are you, my Cancers? Anyway, you know, long readings, I use 4 decks. I use my Radley Valentine Angel Tarot cards for my main message. I then go to my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards to see if we can fill in some gaps. Then I ask for some advice from my Osha Zen Tarot cards, and I finish up with my Radley Valentine Archangel Power Tarot cards. I've prayed, meditated, and infused both decks with Reiki energy. But both decks, all the decks with Reiki energy. But remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest, okay? So this is going to be, I look at this as kind of the chapters. And this will be, Gemini season begins May 20th. And the new moon is on May 22nd, and that's in Gemini. Also, that's how that works. Now, remember, full moon to new moon, it gets smaller. So that's when you release and get rid of the stuff. Now, new moon to full moon gets bigger, and that's when you start asking and requesting. And with Gemini season, be prepared, because this is a couple of things with Gemini season for you is this is the end of your astrological year. So there's a lot of things that you want to try to wrap up here, okay? But Gemini season doesn't want to be restricted. There's no boundaries. Okay, so now, knowing that about Gemini season, we have our full moon is on June 5th, and it will be at 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is up for anything. Adventurous, energetic, free-spirited, okay? It's up for anything. And then June 20th, Cancer season will begin, and also too at 3:43 p.m. the summer solstice begins. Now, that is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, but it's the shortest day of the year in the southern hemisphere. So there's a lot of energy going on for you with that too. And remember, you are really, really ruled. You are really affected. You are really influenced by the moon. Okay, so just know that. So, with this, that full moon in Sagittarius, whoa, you're just going to, throw it all off. So now, I am an intuitive channeler, and what that means is I open myself up to my higher power, and whatever the message is, it just comes through, and hopefully, well, I know it gets delivered. Hopefully, it'll be delivered to you. Now, all 3 cards are reversed strong energy. The first card's the one that popped out, and that one is face up. So let's see what we have here for my Cancers in Gemini season. The first card is Archangel Azrael, and this is release, and this is what we've been waiting. Like I said, this season is wrapping up your stuff. It's saying, no, whatever I want to get rid of, and again, that new moon to the full moon is really good at getting rid of that. Now, what have you been holding on? There's something called, okay, definition of insanity, okay, not to say, but we all do this, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. My Cancers, you tend to be very, very hopeful. And whatever this other thing is in your hemisphere, in your energies, you always think that it's going to be different. It's not. It's not. Okay? That energy is that energy. So stop thinking that that's going to happen that way. And with that, you're going to feel a couple of things I'm feeling with this. I'm feeling with what I just said. Okay? I'm kind of, it's like there's going to be such a release, and this is release. There's going to be such a release when you come to that acceptance. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I've been doing. And I feel like there's pieces of you that you've been giving out that will be coming back to you. And this kind of, I don't talk about this a whole lot. Sometimes I do, but I think for you, it's like when I gave that person a piece of my mind. Well, pull it back. If you need that piece, pull it back. I gave them a piece of my heart. I gave them my heart. Pull it back, okay? And especially, release their hold over you. I think that's really what this is. So release is things ending. Again, Gemini season is going to be an extremely powerful season for you, my Cancers, to get rid of things and to tie loose ends up. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Okay, next card, again, like I said, all of these are reversed. Here we go. The Page of Earth, Earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, money energy, someone you can touch. Okay, but a lot of times this is money energy that has opportunities. You might, it could be a career. You might have to, you might have to get, okay, this is kind of like you're pulling out. I see somebody pulling out an old diploma, an old license, an old certificate, and kind of dusting it off a little bit. And, it's like, oh, I've got to do some things to make myself current. I have to do some things to make myself, relevant. But I've got a really, really good basis, okay? So this could also be updating your resume. But this is about you, possibly getting some more training. But this is all about you doing this so that you can make some money, okay? So that you can have that career or that opportunity or that work job, whatever that is for you. Okay, Page of Earth is scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. So you might, so whatever this is, it's like, and when I say once you release something, it's like once you let go of something, you make room for something to come back. Now you might say, well, why didn't I do this a while? The time wasn't right. The energies weren't right. This is now's the time that's right. Okay, next card, last card of this deck. This is the Two of Fire. Fire energy is Leo. It is Sagittarius. It is Aries, passionate, burning, just determined. And this is saying it's all coming together for you now, my Cancers. You're coming into your own, because that's exactly what this will say. But it's like, you're releasing, you're letting go, you're getting yourself prepared, you're dusting off. Maybe this is going back to an older career. I'm not saying that it's an older job, but it's like you're getting things ready and you're moving on. And now it's like things are, be prepared that things will start coming to you easier. How's that? Easier. Things will start coming to you easier now. Okay? So you've come into your own, new partnerships or contracts, continue to move forward. Now, whenever I see the partnerships, contracts, make sure you get someone to look those over for you, okay? But, continue to move forward. I feel like your path I feel like this is probably one of the easier paths. I'm not going to say that you're not going to feel things, because you will. And there's going to be a little bit of worry, a little bit of, ooh, can I do this? Yes, you can. But it's almost like, it's like like you're on a path and there's, how somebody is going through a jungle and they have to like chop the wood down or chop the, the barriers or whatever has been holding, it's like they just open for you. You're still going to have to put your work in. You can't not put your work in. But it's like you lift up your arm to kind of let it go, to chop it off. Not chop off your arm, to chop the wood, the jungle. And it's like, oh, no, we got to open up. So you still have to do your work. But I feel things will get easier this month for you, or this season for you. Okay, John Holland, Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. Let's see what we have here. Now, I can't tell if these are reversed by their backing, so we'll see as we pull it up. Here we go. Okay, deception and envy. Okay. Remember what I was talking about, that separate type of energy, okay? I'm not going to tell you that that's, that doesn't try to creep in. I feel like this is kind of like mold, like have you ever had something that it's like, you look up and go, oh, there's some mold, and it's like it just wants to kind of infiltrate. So you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful. Now that could be negative thoughts coming in, okay, into your own mind. It could also, like I said, you're very susceptible. The moon is very much guides you. And so that means that, you do have this open spirit for that connection, again, to ask for protection from your higher power, guardian angel, spirit guide, voice of the universe, your divine, whoever. But, you know, you have to be careful about receiving other people's negative energy. It's like mold. It's like black mold, okay? And it tries to ooze its way through. So be careful on that. Okay, next card up is again conflict and defeat. You know, it's again that type of energy that it's be careful of what is being sent to you. Be careful that you do not receive it. Okay, you know, you have such a, you know, that connection that, you know, oh, I want, you know, I really want this to work out, and, you know, and it's doing that same thing over and over again. You need to let that go. You need to release these things in order to cut that from you. Okay. Last card. Okay. Financial and material changes. So we have a 5. This is a 5. This is a 5. 5s are about some changes. Now, it can be good. It can be bad. It could be neutral, but it still can be a little bit nervous. Okay. So does this mean, like I said, you still have to do your work. You still have to do what you have to do. You will still face, you know, between all of these, you will still face that outside energy that tries to ooze its way through. But you are, you know, but from these cards, you are so much stronger now. You are so much stronger now, my Cancers. So, you know, ask again. Protection. But things are moving for you. You might almost be a little worried because it seems like, you know, wow, these are things really happening. Is this really happening? Yeah, it is. You don't want, you know, even though, you know, air energy, Gemini, no boundaries. Okay, let's go on. Any words of advice? So yeah, so even though you are on track, you are doing, you know, you are going where you need to go, you are embracing it. Just be aware because, you know, you've been fighting. It seems like you've been fighting, my Cancers, since I first started reading for you. And you know, it's a lot of times it's like, you know, it's always, you know, it's like, you know, you're running the race, there's the finish line and you're winning and it's like, oh, I can't make it. Yes, you can get through it. You know, it feels like that other energy wants to pull you back. Cut it, release it, cut it. Okay? Cut it off. Cut that other energy off. Wherever that energy is coming, and you know this, you know who or whatever this is. Is it a job? Is it a, you know, is it a supervisor? I feel like it's somebody that thinks that they can rule your life. Okay. So here we go. 3 cards again face down. Let's see what we have here. Integration again. Okay. So a lot of this is higher power, doing your work, you know, kind of coming together. This is the, you know, what complements you, you know, basically this is you being pulled back together again and pulling those pieces back together again for you. Okay. And cutting what's trying to pull your pieces out. Okay. I know I'm really into that cutting, and it's metaphysical cutting. Okay. Next card up. Okay, reversed. Patience, phases of the moon. Okay, so, you know, just let things happen. Not to say you're not supposed to do your work, but like I said, as you're going through that jungle and you reach up to, you know, to do this, because you still have to make some actions, it's like it knows it and it opens up. But again, too, this is about the phases of the moon. We've talked about it. The moon also, remember, there's things going on the other side that we can never see. You've got that new moon entering Gemini on the 22nd of May. You've got that full moon on the 5th of June. So there's a lot of really strong and just Gemini energy in itself. So just, you know, make your steps, do what you need to do. You know, every morning expect a miracle, but don't necessarily be disappointed if it doesn't happen that day. Okay, and I don't know who needed to hear that. Last card up. New vision, new start, new way of looking at things, letting things go. Okay. So yeah, yours is really interesting energy. And I keep going back to that release, you know, that release at the end of a phase situation, time to move on. A lot of your cards are just moving you forward. Again, be aware of the black mold that tries to ooze into your life. And the other thing too is, you know, many times over, when your light is shining, there are people that want to come into your life and to actually dim that. So you may need a little bit of time of being by yourself, being alone, especially if you've been changing an intimate or personal relationship. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. My Archangel Power Tarot cards. All are face down, nothing's reversed. Here we go. The 10 of Gabriel, fire energy. Okay, this is ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load. So you, again, ask, reach out. Now, you can reach out to your higher power to help you, of course, but you can also ask for help on that physical plane too. Working too many hours. This is more the case. Trying hard to please others. That, and again, the definition, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Next card is the 3 of Gabriel. This is your ship comes in. Time to move on. Prosperity is beginning. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. So you get a lot of this forward motion. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. And your last card up. This has to be your season. This has to be your season to wrap things up, my Cancers, so that you can now change your life. Archangel energy here. So you started with an Archangel energy, release, and you end with an Archangel energy, change your life, Archangel Chamuel. A sudden revelation that offers freedom, break free of procrastination. That is one thing that you do. Okay, today. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. That can be the scary part, especially when you're kind of used to living with that black mold, whatever that is. And I keep saying, no, it's time to get some bleach. Scrub it out. So my Cancer is really good. I feel this, we're going to hold this. We're going to, come on. This is it. Claiming from my Cancers. So my Cancers, you know what to do with the buttons and the thumbs up. As always, my Cancers, know that you are loved. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.